Hello, fellow adventurers, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to discuss the big orange elephant in the room. About a month ago, this Ozark Trail folding knife took the knife world by storm. The word got out there, people did videos on it, and it quickly disappeared off of store shelves. It's a $10 knife that was built very well. I happened to be able to get one before they disappeared. I was lucky enough. I actually only bought it because I was learning how to sharpen knives again after not doing it in a very long time, and I wanted a cheap knife to work on, so I bought it, and then never even bothered to sharpen it because I was like, well, let's check this thing out. Lo and behold, it turned out that I had the Grail knife that everybody seemed to want. With that being said, it's no longer available. You can't find it anywhere unless you want to go to like eBay and or Blade Binge and pay exorbitant prices for it. For a $10 knife, people are regularly charging $30, $40, and $50 for it, which is just ridiculous. But there is an alternative. There's another knife out there which actually I think is slightly better, right under the $20 price point. And that knife is the one I'm going to put out in front right now, and that is this knife here, made by Flissa. It doesn't have a name, just like the Ozark Grail doesn't have a name. It's just known as the 4.5-inch folding knife. As you can see, they are both meant to be similar to the Benchmade Bugout, of course with much lesser materials and at an amazingly low price point. The Bugout starts at like $162 and then goes up from there. Well, geez, this one's $10, and this one here you can get for just under $20. And they often have $2 coupons on it, which bring it down to like $18 and change, or I should say like $18, which makes this a fantastic buy. So let's open this puppy up. It opens up very easy. Um, Size-wise, it's very similar to the Ozark Trail knife. Now, it is a slightly serrated edge, okay, on the blade, but I don't mind that. They both have plastic handles. They call theirs an injection molded plastic. They call theirs a glass filled thermoplastic. Bottom line, both plastic handles, both with lanyard holes, both with access locks, although they call theirs a slide lock, and they actually do call theirs an access lock, which I don't know why because that's a Benchmade patent, but they still call it that. Both blades are almost the same length. This is a 3.3-inch blade. This is a 3.2-inch blade. You're not going to notice the difference. It's so minute. Now, this is D2 steel. This is an AUS-8. Both of them are the D2 is probably a lower mid-grade steel, and the AUS-8 is a low budget steel. But they both are serviceable, both usable blades. They're both drop point blades on both of them. And I will say, this one is a sharp MFer. This model here, out of the box, is sharper than most knives I own, including my Manix 2 that I recently purchased. This was actually sharper out of the box, which blew my mind. Definitely sharper than the Ozark Grail. I know I keep saying Ozark Grail, it's Ozark Trail, but it's become that. It's become the holy grail of knives. So let's talk more about them. They are both 7.5 inches in length. This one has a deep carry clip, and this one, I would call it a semi-deep carry. It's not as deep. What we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how they carry in the pocket. And what we're going to use is this here, which was made by Heather, Stitches and Stabs. You can find her over on Instagram, and she makes a bunch of wonderful, hand knit, crocheted products, sewn items, and has a lot of stuff to choose from. So we're going to use this to demonstrate how it sits in the pocket. So first, the Flissa. Also, too, access lock, drop shut, no problem. So if you're putting this in the pocket, it's going to just sit slightly over the edge. Not so noticeable. Where the Ozark Trail will also sit there. Clip's a little stiffer, by the way, as you can see, but it sits much higher. Let me get this straightened out a bit. But it sits much higher. Shut down a little way so it's fair, and just not much higher, but sits a little higher in the pocket than the Flissa would. Now, let's compare. Weight-wise, this is 2.29 ounces, where this one is 3.4. So this one is closer to what the original Bugout would be than this one. Although the Bugout is lighter, I think it's 1.85 ounces, but this is much closer to that. And the reason why is because this one, I don't know if you can see it, but there is no metal liner. The handle has no metal liner, so your handles themselves are the liner because of the access lock. It's a pretty sturdy. Actually, it's sturdier than my Bugout. Yes, there's a little play, but not as much as the Bugout. Now, Flissa does something I like on this. Their logo is very small, and it's an F, but turned sideways to be a mountain. It's a cute little logo. But what they did was they put that all along the handle here, which makes it very grippy. On the other side, they do put their name large on the clip. That bothers some people. Myself, it doesn't bother all that much at all. But, you know, it works. This one, on the other hand, is a little heavier, and that's because if you look inside, it's got metal liner locks. Or I should say metal liners. It's obviously an access lock, but it's got metal liners. They are milled. I don't know if you're able to see that, but there is they are milled. They're drilled out and with 4 holes on each side to reduce the weight, but it is heavier. With that being said, though, it's a sturdier handle. There's no play in that at all. Now, both knives come out dead center. Perfect centering on both these knives. Flissa's got perfect centering as well. I don't know if you can see that, how well it's coming out, but they have both perfect centering. So they are, again, they are drop point blade. This has a flat grind, so this will be very slicey, but it'll also be able to cut thistle, bungee cord, paracord, because you do have the serrated edge there. Now, this blade, like I said, is super, super sharp. Right out of the box, it was fantastic, and can't really complain about that. So if you were looking for the Ozark Trail and you can't find it, this could be a great alternative. Now let's take the Ozark Trail out of the way and let's give you a true size comparison to some other knives you would know. Here we have a QSP Penguin. This Penguin is, a standard that everybody has. Look at the size of it. This is slightly longer in the blade, but not much. So you get a good idea there what that looks like. We'll move that off, and we'll bring out another one that everybody loves, which is the Vosteed Raccoon. And they are very close in size. So you kind of get an idea of what it is. It's a medium size knife. It's not a giant knife. And then here we have up against the Civivi Mini Praxis. So you can see it's a bigger blade and bigger handle there. With that being said, by the way, these are custom scales on the Mini Praxis that I found online, and I had to change out because I just wanted a knife with red scales. So let's get that out of the way. Oops. So now let's look at the ergos on this. Here you have, I wear an extra large glove. I have a pretty decent sized hand, but I can get all 4 fingers on there comfortably. There's no jimping on the blade, but there is jimping here on top of the access lock. So you can get a really good slice with it. It's not going to slip out of your hand. The clip is low enough that there's no hot spots. So I kind of like that. And like I said, it really fits well in the hand. The Ozark Trail, same thing. The Ozark Trail does have jimping on top of the blade. So you can choke up just a little bit more, but it's not that much. Now, if you look, since this is a serrated, you're not going to have to worry about, sharpening choil. I wish they offered this in a plain blade as opposed to a serrated. They do not. They only offer this in a serrated, which is okay because sometimes you need a serrated blade. This would make, to me, and actually does make, a great inexpensive EDC knife. I think, like I said, generally it sells for like $19.99, just under $20, and they often run coupons so that way you can get it for $2 off, so like $17.99. And if you're an Amazon Prime member, it'll ship for free. I mean, you can't beat that deal. I just think that is such an excellent deal, for an inexpensive EDC knife that is a banger. And if you lose it, you're not going to care. It was less than $20. If you break it, you're not going to care. It was less than $20. But I think it'll hold up. I think it'll hold up pretty well. I just, like I said, for the under $20 price point, I think it's a very good knife, and it's a great alternative to the Ozark Trail because you can't get the Ozark Trail. So they do offer this in different colors. They offer it in an OD green handle as well, and they also offer it in a pink handle. I wish they would offer it in a black, and I wish they had a black coated blade, but they don't. But like I said, they do offer it in 3 colors. They offer it in this teal, they offer it in the OD green, and the pink. So I think I just want to sum it up. Like I said, $20, you can't beat this. So if you're new to the channel and you like this kind of content, there's going to be a lot more of it. This channel has changed focus now. We're going to be going very heavy EDC going forward. Not just knives, but EDC gear, flashlights, just basically the whole thing. And we're still going to be covering camping gear, and there will be the occasional motorcycle road trip, but we're going to be concentrating more on gear and less on roadside attractions and that kind of stuff. If you do like that stuff, there'll be some of it sprinkled in, but it's going to be more heavily based on EDC. So please subscribe. If you like the video, please hit like, share it with your friends. If you know some people who are into knives, share it. They'll appreciate it. But yes. Oh, and real quick, these are, let's see what size they are. I'm not sure. Before I forget this, what size are these screws? Exactly. They're T6s. They are T6s all around, and I think the access lock, the access lock that's not a screw hole. That's why. Sorry about that. But yeah, they're T6s all around, including the pivot point. I mean, the thumb stud. So yeah, it's a T6. So sorry about that. I forgot to mention that before. I just wanted to get that in there. So real quick, again, please like, please subscribe. If you like it, it'll get the word out there. There'll be more people watching. More people will watch, the more videos I'll make. So thanks for watching. We appreciate it. And there'll be new videos dropping soon. Stay tuned.